Welcome back to Heroic Book Adventures. I'm Steve, and today I've got some real eye candy for you heroes, because I'm going to show you my DK Smithsonian book collection. It's really the perfect collaboration because the Smithsonian has all of the information, pictures, and resources to compile into books like this, while Dorling Kindersley has the printing capabilities to put it into such beautiful formats. These are ones that I would keep in mind for like gift giving ideas, because if you can match up somebody's personal taste with the right book, like say you have somebody that's really into World War II and you get them the World War II book, it's going to be a home run. Even if they're not really a reader, these books are so stunningly beautiful that I feel like anybody would appreciate having it, even if it's just meant as a coffee table type book. Or you can just keep it for yourself because you know that nobody else is going to appreciate how wonderful these books are more than you will. And let me just give you a quick note on prices. If you were to pick up one of these books off the shelf at Barnes and Noble or Books A Million, they're going to stick it to you for the full MSRP price, which on some of these can be as much as like $50 or $60. So instead, I would suggest grabbing them off of Amazon, because when they're totally brand new, like a new release from this year, of course they're going to be full price. That's just the way things work. But once they've been out for a year or two, like all of these have, they drop in price considerably. And I've been picking them up in the $15 to $20 range. And for how much information these contain, I feel that is a very fair, reasonable price. So even though Amazon isn't generally my favorite place to promote buying from, in this case, with these specific books, it is the most logical way to acquire these. So let's take a closer look at these beauties, shall we? All right, the first few here are their map by map series. This one, History of the World. These are some of my favorites. Just shows basic history through maps. I'm just going to flip through these quickly so the video doesn't take too long, but I just want to give everyone an idea of kind of what's contained within these. All kinds of neat stuff. Beautifully laid out. Timelines in the back. So yeah, anybody that says history is boring obviously hasn't read something like this. Next is battles. This, I mean, starts from very early on and shows like troop movement, how many troops there were, what they did. Really, really cool. Anybody that's in the war, battles, find this really fascinating. Timelines. And there's History of North America. I love old maps like that. Yeah, you get the idea. And World War II. The weapons that were used. Battle of the Bulge. Dinosaurs in prehistoric life, because who does not love dinosaurs? Invertebrates. Plant life. So it's not just dinosaurs, all kinds of creatures that were alive at that time. T-Rex. Little mammals. I love that. History of Britain and Ireland. I'm sure the history in these probably isn't as in-depth as if you got a specific academic book on the subject, but for those of us just looking for general knowledge in that, there's plenty to enjoy in these. I'm actually impressed with the depth of the info in this stuff. A little different one, The Complete Human Body. Again, it's probably not a college level anatomy book, but plenty good enough. Different systems. Organs. Disorders and diseases. Ooh, sexually transmitted infections. I don't want to look at that page. Get that. Habitats. Different types of environments in the world and flora and fauna that live within them. Again, I'd love to stick longer on these, but I got to keep the length of the video down. Aw, meerkat. Rhinos. And, oh, yeah. The American Revolution. By now, you've seen enough of these history books of this to kind of expect what you're going to find in there. Uniforms, weaponry. Ancient Egypt. I feel like even the subjects of these that I'm not as interested in and enough to go out and buy them, I imagine they'd all be really interesting to read through. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. Along with Ancient Egypt is Ancient Rome. What a villa look like. The foods. The writing. different rulers. And there's warfare. From the beginnings, 5,000 years of war. There's something we're good at, it's that. All the way up to modern day. Tools. Okay, that's the last of the DK, but there's a few other ones I had that were put by other publishers in a similar vein. Like this one's National Geographic. A lot of National Geographic's books like this are more about travel. So like their book about France would be about the types of tourist things you would see if you went to France and cultural things and stuff like that. So I'm not quite as interested in that, but the Stargazer's Atlas looked like a good one to me. Especially out here, I've got a great view of the skies at night. I've actually got to drive for miles down the road to come across the street light. So outside of the handful of, motion lights I've got outside the cabin, I have almost no light pollution. This goes into each of the constellations. Yeah, that's a neat one. And then these three, over the holidays, Books A Million had these in their little bargain shelves for I think $7, and they're kind of the same as the other map ones. That is a Sky Horse, but basically maps of Civil War, each battle. Gotta love that. And then World War I and II, these were by Amber Publishing. Same kind of thing. Pictures and maps of battles and things. I appreciate that. And then also, don't look past university textbooks like this geology one. Because here's how this works. You see, this is a 5th edition. This book is actually up to the 8th edition, which if you were to buy it brand new is like $300 for the class. And then every older edition is now out of date because even though the older edition has 99% of the same content in it, the professor makes you buy the newest one of it. And I have this theory that maybe university professors just want you to have that experience of being dirt poor and debt slavery just in preparation for your life after college graduation. But once it's no longer the newest edition, they'll then put it in their used bookstore for, you see, this one was selling at the time for like $128 even used. And then when it doesn't sell there, it goes to their library. And then eventually it gets withdrawn from that so that I can buy this on eBay for $10. So, yeah, if you have any specific academic topic that you would like to learn more about, just find out which textbooks the universities use and then just find an older edition for very cheap. They're out there, you know. Don't let schools get in the way of your learning. And then even at thrift stores, I picked up these two, 50 cents and 50 cents. Yeah, Reader's Digest Illustrated Story of World War II. Yeah, these are all black and white. The book's all beat to hell. Smells like a funeral home, but it was made in the 60s, so what do you expect? But for $1, you can learn so much from a book like this. Okay, there's a lot more pictures than I was showing there, but yeah. And then this one's focused on the war in the Pacific Theater. And this one's cool because it's actually got these extra like old documents, copies, prints of them. Kind of neat stuff. Letters people sent home. So yeah, when you look around at thrift stores, you find stuff like that too. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you heroes on the next one.